This is where it gets interesting, actually kind of scary. So we got a bunch of Pokemon Champions news, and it's not just what was in the trailer and the presents, because on the official Champions sites, they have a lot of little other hints that are actually a very, very big deal. We also saw a release date of April 2026. So the release is confirmed in April. April is extremely annoying because many people were hoping that Orlando and Prague, two big regional championships, were going to be in Champions. People were hoping that Champions would release either now or in March, and then in April we could finally start playing competitions in Champions. But no, since it releases in April, it's very likely that these competitions, and maybe many afterwards still, are going to be in Scarlet and Violet, which means that there's a potential world where Champions' first big competition will be the World Championships. I'm not stoked for that. As someone who's playing Scarlet and Violet right now and loves Scarlet and Violet, I would have loved to be able to jump into Champions right away. So there's like 3 scenarios that I see right now in terms of what we can have competition-wise. First, maybe they just make Reg F last longer. So Reg F is the current regulation. I'm not a huge fan of it. But so maybe they just go, oh, here's Reg F 3.0, you know, just like an extra month or so. We need an extra month to get things ready. Sorry, enjoy it for 2 more events. Or they announce a new regulation, which only lasts for a little bit of time. Maybe again, just like a month or 2 months of regulation I with some legendaries. And then perhaps Turin and NAIC in New Orleans are champions as like testing grounds, because imagine option 3, Worlds being the first event with champions. That means they are putting everything on the line right there. The potential for, you know, maybe the game isn't fully optimized to have 500 people competing at the same time, to have 500 people on Wi-Fi in one room trying to battle each other. There is potential for disconnects and issues. There's so many issues. This is very, very complex. You know, organizing events like this is extremely complex. At a regional in Lille a few months ago, round 2 or so, every single table like disconnected like 5 times or so, just the entire table. This is hard stuff. So imagine for option 3, where they say, Champions, the very first big event, it'll just be Worlds. Imagine if that goes wrong. I think that's a logistical, massive risk, like a catastrophic risk. Imagine stream, Worlds, big hype, best players in the Worlds, been practicing for months, been trying to qualify an entire year, and then, oops, it turns out that the game has some bugs that we didn't really foresee, and this is the first time we have so many people, you know, really stress testing this. I don't think they'll do that. Personally, I think Champions tournaments are going to happen before Worlds. I don't know if it'll be option 1, 2, or 3. I don't know. But I personally think the risk of this going wrong from a tournament organization perspective is so big that, in my opinion, Champions tournaments will happen before Worlds already. Even if it's just like 1 or 2, like just like Turin NAIC or only NAIC. But even only NAIC is kind of risky. So I don't know. But that's yikes. Now let's hop into the site for the non-Pokemon Presents information, which is actually a really big deal as well. So here we have the site, and of course previously you already had some info, but now I feel like certain things have changed. You have 3 modes. You have ranked battles, where you get your VP. You have casual battles and private. I guess this is like ideal for the tournaments as well. You create a room, which is also how it works on actual tournaments, you know, with the Union Circle and everything. Victory points can be gained from ranked battles and other places. You'll need VP to recruit and train Pokemon. VP cannot be directly purchased, so keep battling and gaining VP to power up your team even more. VP cannot be purchased. Now this one's really fun. Battle to the beat. Selecting your music when battling other trainers has been a common feature of Pokemon video games on Nintendo Switch, but Pokemon Champions is taking it one step further. In addition to original tracks from Pokemon Champions, you can enjoy battle songs from a variety of other titles in the Pokemon series. I love this. There's so many songs I love from throughout the generations. In Scarlet and Violet in particular, I love the Cassiopeia theme. So if I can keep on playing the Cassiopeia theme, I am stoked. You know, I have that autism where I like a thing and I'm gonna just beat that horse over and over and over. Master Mega Evolution in ranked battles. So under the first set of rules for ranked battles held in Pokemon Champions, Pokemon will be able to undergo Mega Evolution. So again, this shows you that there will be different rule sets throughout time, and the first one is Mega Evolution, maybe then afterwards we'll get Terra, and so forth and so forth. Pokemon Champions will be the VGC software used for Worlds 2026. but not necessarily other ones. Oh, seasons and regulations. So rank battle results will be tallied each season and used to determine your final placement and rank, as well as your final season rewards. New regulations for rank battles will be set every few seasons to mix up the competition and keep trainers on their toes. The Pokemon you can use and other parameters will change with each new set of regulations. You never know, new Pokemon just might become eligible. So we assumed something like this would be the case, like said before. You can get your past partners through Pokemon Home, and you can recruit from in the game itself. We already knew this. However, right here, it says aim for the title of champion alongside Pokemon you've befriended thus far in Pokemon Legends ZA, Go, and other titles. But in the other article, there's actually a ZA specific thing they're talking about that I'm kind of annoyed by, but we'll get into that later. So here's some more specifics. Only Pokemon that appear in Pokemon Champions can visit from home, that's obvious. And then training underwent in Champions won't carry over to home. But if the same Pokemon visit Champions again, the training received will be saved. So basically the way you need to consider it is like, imagine you have our boy Incineroar right here, the GOAT. Imagine you have him in home, all right? Now I send him from home to Champions. Let's say the microphone is Champions. In Champions, I teach him Flare Blitz or Parting Shot or whatever. But in home, he didn't have this yet. If I now send him back to home, he forgets everything he learned in Champions. Sad. So in Scarlet and Violet or whatever, you would have to teach him something, whatever. But if you now bring him back to Champions, he relearns those moves over there. So it's like inside Champions, the moves are stored that you've already spent the training on before. So I guess that's to make sure that you're not, wasting VP for nothing, which is cool. That's a good little quality of life thing. This is where it gets interesting. And actually not interesting, actually kind of scary. Instead of catching Pokemon in Champions, you recruit them from roster ranch. You can recruit Pokemon by using VP to select from a roster of random Pokemon. This scares me. Again, we can only speculate a little bit, but it says you'll be able to meet to a new lineup of Pokemon without using VP every 22 hours. So let's say there's like a new team that you really want to build for a tournament. Let's say in 2 weeks, not 2 weeks, let's say in 3 days you're going to a tournament and you just found out D-Tech. You found out, oh my god, the Pokemon that's going to change my team is Scizor. I need to have Scizor. Too bad. It's random, and every 22 hours it changes whether the Scizor is even available to recruit. Again, I don't want to speculate or doom post. I don't know. We don't know how it's built, but right now it almost feels like a draft style thing, like a booster pack almost. You open your booster pack and you see which cards are in there, and if you don't have the cards that you want, too bad. So I don't know. Again, we're all just speculating. No one knows anything. This news just came out, but it's random. Some people are already talking about this possibility, but I didn't think that would be possible. So I don't know. It says without using VP. So maybe you can spend VP to change the current available mons to then grab from that. Excited for Champions, but I'm just scared. I'm just calling it as I see it. We have trial recruitment. Have a Pokemon join your team for a trial period. Doesn't cost VP. Once a day though. You can do a trial recruitment once a day without using VP. And then if you think, oh, this mon is cool, maybe you tried out Gardevoir on your team for the first time. You think it's cool. Then you go for permanent recruitment, which you do with your victory points. All right, so notice how previously I think they said VP cannot be purchased. This was to show that the game is not going to be pay to win or pay to play or whatever you want to say. They said it was free to start is the wording they used, and then VP cannot be bought. But then they say this. I assumed they would have to monetize somewhere. They say you can also recruit Pokemon by using tickets instead of VP. Items such as quick coupons and teammate tickets are available, and these are primarily obtained through missions in-game. By using quick coupons, you can shorten how long you must wait to recruit a Pokemon by 1 hour per coupon, okay? And by using teammate tickets, you can permanently recruit Pokemon without using VP. Okay, so like you have a teammate ticket, which lets you recruit a specific mon. It was no VP cost. Permanent recruitment, 2,500 VP, or the one ticket. So right here you can see, okay, so I use 22 of the coupons to then see, new mons. So again, like if you really need Scizor on your team, damn, then you need to start spending these quick coupons to see like new mons. I also wonder if this has like a pity system then at least, to where like imagine you want Scizor again. And let's say there's 300 mons or whatever. They show you 10 or whatever number it is. They show you 10. It's like, oh, Scizor is not in there, you know. Reset again. Show me another batch and another batch and another batch. I'm wondering if like the fourth batch can be the same as the second batch, to where like Scizor might be the 6,000 batch and you would have to have like a bunch of coupons. I don't know. Again, we're speculating, but I hope it has a pity timer type of thing, you know, where the sets are never repeating, so you can definitely get your Scizor within a reasonable amount of resets. Again, we're using wording here that doesn't exist yet. Then, train your Pokemon, okay? Tailor your team skills by using VP. You can hone blah, 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 blah. You can alter their abilities and moves, customize. Running short on VP, you can always use a training ticket to train your Pokemon instead, reducing the required amount of VP to 0. So, it sounds to me like these training tickets are broken. And I'm wondering if I can buy them with money. Because, like, they said VP cannot be bought, right? I don't think they ever said you can't buy anything. I see a world where maybe training tickets can be bought, or maybe there's like a battle pass you can buy to get training tickets more easily or whatever, to basically not be tied down by VP as much. I don't know. I just want to make teams, you know. I don't want to think about stuff. I don't want to be worried about stuff. I want to build my teams. Now, also, Mega Dragonite is coming to Pokemon Champions. Okay, we knew that. They showed us this new article here on the official Pokemon site where they say players who download the game before a certain date will be able to claim a Dragonite from their in-game mailbox. So essentially, I'm guessing that Mega Dragonite is going to be like the gift Pokemon. You know, you enter your first game and you really want to have just a strong mon to start playing, to build your team with, and here you go, here's your Dragonite, a first mon to start playing with. That's cool. So as long as you start playing soon enough, I guess this will be like your launch gift. The Mega Evolution fun hardly ends with Dragonite. You can obtain even more Mega Stones for Pokemon that Mega Evolve in Legends ZA. And this is where I'm like kind of iffy. They say to commemorate the release of Pokemon Champions, an in-game campaign will be held whereby players can receive Chestnutite, Delphoxite, Greninjite, and Floetite stones. By storing the Chestnut, Delphox, Greninja, and Eternal Flower Floette you befriend during Pokemon Legends ZA in Pokemon Home and bringing them to champions as visitors, you can obtain their Mega Stones. So this means that you get access to specific mons and their stones by playing specifically ZA, which is annoying to me, and I'm saying this as someone who owns ZA. I have not fully completed ZA. I got a little bored around the end, but I've played a lot of ZA. I have access to these mons. This is not an issue for me, but like, is that somewhat gating crucial mons behind ZA? Or will they also just be part of the rotation? Because that, you know, I wouldn't be a fan of these being harder to get or much harder to get, you know, in Champions otherwise. Especially like Eternal Flower Floette. I'm pretty sure from the base stats I've seen that Mega Floette is insane. We don't know abilities yet. We don't maybe know like all the movesets it can learn in Champions, so we can't know for sure how good it'll be. But this seems like a very, very relevant mon to have access to. Same with Delphox. It does have Levitate. We saw that in the trailer, so that's like less strong than people were hoping for. But the stats are really, really crazy. A lot of these have really crazy stats. So I would hope that you don't need to have played hours and hours of ZA just to get access to these in Champions. I assume it'll just be that they can still be received, you know, from the normal VP ways, I hope. If you have Legends ZA, you should definitely make sure you have these mons ready there so you can instantly send them to your champions so you have a head start, I guess, with the available mons. Now, more details on home. This is the info we saw before on the site already. Helpful trainers. This is something we didn't see before. As you enter Pokemon Champions for the first time, you'll be greeted by a variety of friendly faces that will always be around to help as you prepare for battle. Tatora will help you get into the swing of things by helping you enter competitions. Kit will help you partner up with Pokemon at Roster Ranch. So this is where you get like mons for the first time, you know, with VP. And Cordy will share new strategies with you as you battle in Pokemon Champions. You'll meet Caraway and Kajima too as you enter the battle arena. So these are, you know, some of the first in-game little things to know. So then we have the Japanese site right here. news.pokemonstripehome.com/GA. I've done the translation on Google Chrome right here. This is the information about the gifted Dragonite. So it says like by Monday, August 31st is when you have to download it. But what's really interesting is this line that we didn't see on the English text, I thought. It says, as you progress through Pokemon Champions, you can obtain a Dragonite, but this is like the Mega Stone, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense, from the first season's Battle Pass. So you received the Dragonite in your mailbox, but you received a Mega Stone from the Battle Pass. And then they say by giving a Dragonite to a Dragonite. See, so that's how we know it's a Mega Stone. We learn two things here. You get the Mega Stone elsewhere, and secondly, there is a Battle Pass. So this might be where we see monetization, you know. It's very typical for mobile games and tons of games where you have like a Battle Pass with one free row and one paid row. So we don't know what the things will be from that Battle Pass, whether it's, I mean, they said VP isn't directly purchasable, but maybe indirect. Or maybe it's those tickets we saw earlier. Or something else, I don't know. We don't know, all speculation, but we have a Battle Pass. I have re-exported this video 7 times already because there keeps being new information. So for the final time, I am going to add info to this video. There's this thread by Z Banded on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, where there's a lot of info basically missing on the English side, and that info is found on the Chinese side. So the game will be free to play and includes a one-time purchase of a starter pack. This includes 50 additional box spaces, so going from 30 to 80. That's a big deal. You only have one box with 30 normally. A VS trainer team from LGPE, and 50 training tickets and 50 recruitment tickets. So as I expected, the trainer tickets and the recruitment tickets are buyable. Okay, so you get a bunch of these training tickets and recruitment tickets to basically reset which Pokemon are available. Can be bought. First time with a starter pack. I'm assuming afterwards you can just buy them outright. So yeah, as expected, they were going to monetize somewhere, and it wasn't VP, maybe directly, but you know, the training tickets are basically already replacing a part of your big VP cost, and then the recruitment tickets make it even easier. Private battle lobbies where multiple battles can take place, so presumably allowing for spectators, but we don't really know. Character customization, so you can change your outfits, you can change your pre-battle pose, you can change your Pokeball throw animation, your victory animation. This is really cool. This is actually really, really super fun. I am so excited for this. Because in Scarlet and Violet, you know, we were all just playing as high schoolers or whatever. Like, I wasn't a huge fan, you know, back in, was it Sun and Moon? And Sword and Shield too? In past games, we could do so many cool things. And in Scarlet and Violet, these uniforms, they were kind of getting old. So I'm stoked for this, new outfits. And then Nakajima is Caraway's father. Okay. This is Chupa, apparently. No. Then membership. So this is the subscription thing here. You can join a membership that gives you increased box size, increased battle team count. Oh, there's a limit in battle teams. Okay. Member exclusive missions, additional battle music. Then the battle pass. When you battle, you accumulate SBS, season battle score, raising your battle pass level that unlocks rewards. There's also battle pass upgrade, where with real money you can unlock additional rewards. Yeah, so once again, as expected, there's some way to get some money here. So this is the Dragonite stone here from the, I guess, free battle pass. And oh, I guess you can unlock Pokemon that way as well, because this is like an Embor thing. Maybe it's like an Embor costume. I don't know, but this looks like getting an Embor on your battle pass. And then, yeah, as you can see right here, and then at the end of it is like your, or is this the paid one? Yeah, maybe this is the membership. Like this golden ticket here might be the paid thing. And so your membership gives you an Embor, whereas normally you would spend VP. Okay. There's also opening cutscenes that the Chinese YouTube channel has. Go check out Z-Bandon on Twitter, you know, for doing this work. Then you can go check this out as well. New Pokemon sightings. There's a bunch of new Pokemon shown. So Azumarill, Steelix, Whimsicott, Drampa, Kingambit, Palafin, Armarouge, Corviknight, Hawlucha, Frostlass, Manectric, Absol, Altaria, Aggron, Beedrill, Snorlax, Gyarados, Victreebel, Arcanine. Yeah, so this very much still feels like a limited early Dex type power level, which I'm stoked for. Now, we did see previously that Hisuian Ursaluna was also available, so I'm hoping that is a little bit later, because that is like a big step up in power compared to, you know, like Gyarados and stuff. Then we have Chestnut, Delphox, Greninja, Floette, Eternal, Tinkaton, Hatterene, Grimmsnarl, Venusaur, Blastoise, Mimikyu, Sarina, wow, okay, Embor, Meganium, Conkeldurr, Ampharos, Klefki, Rodom, I mean, Rotom in a phone, okay? That we don't know if that's Rotom playable. Tauros, Pinsir, Heracross, Emolga, Mousehold, Farigiraf, Starmie, Tatsugiri. I mean, we knew Tatsugiri because we saw it on Dozo before. Furfrou, Noivern, Victini. Okay, I mean, we don't know if that's, definitely playable at first. But, okay, so that's a bunch of extra information. This is the last time I'm editing this video. So that was all the info I can find right now. We had the Pokemon Presents trailer, we had the website. Personally, I can't wait for Champions. It looks really, really awesome. I hope it turns out as awesome as I'm hoping. I hope that any things I'm afraid of don't end up happening. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What are you excited for? What are you expecting to happen? When do you think we'll get tournaments? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you soon. Ciao.